Steel strength training is my business, not my passion project, or at least I run it that way. And let me explain why. Because this is the reason that steel is such a great place to train for clients and a great place to work for staff. You see, I learned a secret very early on when starting my gym, okay? When I started the first steel location, September 1st, 2015. But here's the deal. Most people who open gyms start it because they are very, very passionate about fitness. They love people. They love changing lives. And that's how I got started. I fell in love with training. I love people. I love coaching people and helping them become the best version of themselves, helping them thrive in life. I love that stuff. And that makes me just like every other trainer. Most gym owners, most trainers are obsessed with this stuff. Okay, especially the ones who try to make a career out of it. But what inevitably ends up happening, if you're just running your gym or your book of clients, if you will, as a trainer, we'll talk about gym specifically. If you're running your gym or personal training studio just off of passion, it's going to start off great and it's going to end in a disaster in almost every case. And I've seen this happen dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of times in the fitness space. And it is heartbreaking for me as a fellow trainer and gym owner. So back to the lesson that I learned. I learned very early on that passion alone is not enough to make it in the fitness industry as a career. Okay, passion alone will not get you to the place where you can work enough, reasonable enough hours, make enough money to be able to support yourself. So here's what happens when people just run on passion. At first, it's amazing. It's like a big fire that's exciting, okay? But it never turns into a long-term sustainable flame, and it inevitably ends up burning out. So you get somebody who starts, you get a trainer, they're passionate, they open their gym, and they're working 60 to 70 hour weeks, 6 to 7 days a week, weekends, holidays, early mornings, late nights, repeating day after day, week after week, month after month, often taking little to no time off. And the thing is, people in the fitness space are typically healthy. You know, a lot of times they're getting started before they're married, before they have kids, so they're single. Oftentimes they're young, they're healthy, they're fit. People in the fitness space are often some of the hardest workers you will ever meet. And that is both a blessing and it becomes a curse. It becomes a detriment and ultimately their downfall. So the thing is, when they're running on passion alone, I see trainers start their gyms and they're working 60 to 70 hours a week and everybody loves them. They're taking great care of the clients and they're making enough money. It's not what they want. It's maybe not even what they need, but it's enough to get by. But eventually, at some point, maybe that's 6 months, maybe that's 6 years or anywhere in between. Maybe they go a little bit longer because they're absolute workhorses. I've seen it happen. But inevitably, they get to the place where they're exhausted physically. They're burnt out. Maybe they're married now with a kid or more, and they're not seeing their family as much as they want. Maybe they're not even able to pay, all their bills, and they're still working 60 to 70 hours a week. It's one thing to find yourself in that situation working a normal full-time job, but when you're working almost 2 full-time jobs, it's nonstop and it's exhausting. And so they find themselves physically burnt out from the workload and emotionally stressed because they're not making enough money. And they can try to make a hire, but if they try to hire somebody, in almost all cases, a great trainer isn't going to want to walk into that. And if they do, they probably won't stay because they're walking into the same mess. They're not getting paid enough and they're working too much. And it's not the owner's fault. It's not the trainer's fault that started the gym. It's just that's what they have to offer. Not only that, but that will inevitably cut into their profits. And they're already not making a lot, so it's going to reduce their profits even more. Or maybe they try to reduce their hours to make it more sustainable, but again, that's cutting into their revenue and profit. Now they're making even less money. And inevitably, they will have to shut the gym down. Often after years, way too many years of trying to make it work. And it's heartbreaking because everybody loses. The trainer who started this as a passion project loses because this is what they want to do for their career, what they want to do with their life, and they're good at it. They're very, very good at it. And the clients lose because they now they have to go find another gym, another trainer, and that's hard to find. And largely because of what we're talking about, because people can't stay in the field because they can't make a career out of it. They have to go get a real job. And I hate hearing that as a gym owner, but I understand. I understand exactly what's going on. I understand the sentiment. I've seen this play out so many times. So the secret is you have to run your gym, your personal training studio, like a business. And that is exactly what I do. I am insanely passionate about what we do at Steel. I love what I do, and I cannot imagine doing anything else. I truly believe it is my life's mission, and that everything I've walked through, everything I've learned, everything that's happened to me has perfectly positioned me to help people get lean, strong, and healthy so they can do the things they love with the people they love. I'm insanely passionate about this, but passion is not enough. I'm also very open about the fact that I want to run a very successful, profitable business. And by doing that, that has been a blessing to everybody involved because it allows me to work reasonable hours. I get to spend plenty of time with my family. I can financially take care of my family. On top of that, I can hire really great trainers, really skilled top-tier trainers, pay them above industry average, give them full-time salaried positions, give them reasonable hours, and paid time off. Most of those things are extremely unheard of in the fitness space. And literally everybody wins. I win, my family wins, the team wins, and the clients win because they're getting to work with rested, happy, stable, taken care of, and highly skilled trainers. So I'm very, very open that yes, I'm so passionate about what I do, and I just don't think I would have this level of passion in any other business that I could operate. But I care just as much about the business side of things as I do the training side of things. And I think that is exactly why Steel is such a great place to train for clients and work for staff. So, like I always tell potential clients, we are extremely expensive. We're very expensive, but we do promise to make that one of the best investments, if not the very best investment you'll make this year.